Здравствуйте, Namaskar. Today we'll be having our focus on a person who was not very known to the people of India at certain period of time, but later on she found her own space among the Indian hearts. She was no one else but Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Her father was an army general and mother had relation with the Russian royal family. She spent her childhood in England, and while she was in England, she was acquainted with India, her culture, her religion, her spirituality. At the age of 17, she was married, but the marriage did not last long, it was only for 3 months. After that, she became more interested in Indian spirituality, particularly on Hinduism and Buddhism, and she had an urge to visit India and to go to Tibet to know more about Hinduism and Buddhism. She arrived in India in 1852. She went to different places, but when she approached her desire to visit Nepal, to visit Tibet, the British authority in Nepal rejected her application and didn't allow her to go to Tibet for some unknown reasons, and she went back again to England. After 1 year, she again came to India. Last time she traveled through Mexico and Ceylon, today's Sri Lanka, and arrived in Mumbai, today's Mumbai, and then Bombay. But this time, when she came, she was equipped with her desire more, and she was determined to visit Tibet at this time. However, when she was in England, the Crimean War created a Russophobia there, and when she came to India, again the same thing happened, and particularly the British colonial rulers, since they were very much anti Russian, they didn't like her stay in India. She left Mumbai but went to Lahore and stayed there for few days, and through Lahore she made the plan and visit Tibet. Ultimately she reached there and stayed there for 3 long years. She even met some spiritual personalities over there, and she even says that she had a guru called Kuthumi Lal. Then she traveled all over Tibet and also some parts of India, went back not to England but to USA. And there she had an acquaintance with Cornel Albert, who became a close friend to Blavatsky, and together they found they formed the Theosophical Society of United States of America. This creation of the Theosophical Society also created some bubble in the cultural life of India, because some people they found that this is a point of revival of ancient Hindu philosophy and ancient Hindu practice. She was planning again to come to India, and she came here in the year 1876. And people went in hundreds to receive her and Cornel Albert in Bombay port. And a person like Shamaji Krishna Barma, who was a well-known freedom fighter of India, who went to Paris afterwards and even had contact with no one else but writer Maxim Gorky, who requested him to write for his journal. However, Shamaji Krishna Varma and other eminent personalities of Bombay met them, and they arranged their stay not in the family of the British Europeans or even in the Anglo Indian family, but their staying was in the Hindu locality. So they had ample opportunity to mix with the local people, to know more about the Indian culture directly, and they also organized some unique programs of meeting with Madame Blavatsky and Colonel Albert. And there, this meeting, when they were organizing, people from different corners of India showed their interest to participate at those gatherings. From Kolkata, there was one person who was very much interested and who was invited also to be there. He was from the Ghosh family, and he was the chief editor of Amrito Bajar Potrika. And this created unique interest among the Bengali people, because when he was there, he not only met Madame Blavatsky and other people, but they also made an appeal that they want to be the disciple of this organization of Madame Blavatsky and Colonel Albert. And Shishir Kumar Ghosh, who was the chief editor of Amrito Bajar Potrika, according to his writings, he wrote like this, that perhaps I am the first disciple or the member of the Theosophical Society in India. That was in fact a true note which we should approve. There was another person, another eminent person called Shivnath Shastri, who was little arrogant and who had arguments with them, and he did not accept the ideology of Madame Blavatsky or of the Theosophical Society. From there, as the Parsi community mainly took more interest with the Blavatsky ideology and Theosophical Society, the British colonial rulers continued their anti-campaign against Blavatsky and her ideology, and she had no other alternative since she was getting invitation from Allahabad, from Kanpur, from Kolkata. She had a plan to visit these places. She went to Allahabad, went to Kanpur, Bharatpur, Jajpur, and when she wanted to enter Jaipur, she was not allowed there. There's an information that perhaps at that time at Saharanpur, Swami Vivekananda was staying, and she could meet him, and they had an interesting discussion on theosophy. But some people, as Shankari Prasad Bosu, who had a well-known researcher on Swami Vivekananda, refuted this news that they ever made. However, she came to Kolkata in the year 1882, and she was also welcomed here by the eminent personalities, and they had a reception meeting at the town hall of Kolkata, also the conference at town hall of Kolkata, and before that they had a meeting at the house of Dijendranath Tagore, and where eminent personalities like Raja Shamshankar Roy, Narendranath Sen and others, they met. And when they had the meeting at the town hall, at the reception, There they formed the Bengal chapter of the Theosophical Society. And Pyaricharan Mitro became the first president of this organization. And the vice president was no one else but Dijendranath Tagore, the elder son of Debendranath Tagore, the elder brother of Rabindranath Tagore. This acquaintance with Madame Blavatsky, with the eminent people of Kolkata, took her to their houses, and particularly at the house of Tagore's. The women folk, they immediately made her a good friend, and they arranged regular lectures on Theosophical Society. Even they formed a women branch of the Theosophical Society. Debendranath Tagore didn't like it that much, but however, though he criticized, but since her daughter, Swarnakumari Devi, was very much fond of Blavatsky, and she formed this organization of the women. And also this organization of the women get an opportunity for mixing with the women of other families, and they formed the first ever organization of the women in Bengal, entitled as Shokhi Samaj, or the Girlfriends Association. This name Shokhi Samaj was given by no one else but Rabindranath Tagore, though he was not very much in support of this Theosophical Society, but he gave the name of this organization of his elder sister. We know more about this organization from the writings of Sarala Devi Chaudhurani, daughter of Swarnakumari Devi. There were discussions, meetings, at the same time arguments and cross-arguments on Theosophical Society and the activities of Madame Blavatsky. Some people liked it, some people didn't like, but she was one of the first among the ladies, and not only among the ladies, but among the foreigners who came here to know more about the religion or to preach religion, but became the source and the contact person of Indo-Russian relationship. And she attended many functions of these organizations. Even persons like Akhay Kumar Datta, editor of Tattvabodhini Potrika, who was a grand supporter of Reverend James Long, earlier we mentioned about him. Other persons also came forward in support of them, though there were people, some important people like Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay and others, they didn't like the activities of Theosophical Society or the activities of Madame Blavatsky herself. But what inspired is this, that the question of women's emancipation was initiated by the presence of Madame Blavatsky and her questioning about the originality of certain religious and fundamental questions of Indian philosophy, the Tantra, and many other things. Some people called her that she was believing in mysticism or in mystery. Some people called her as the great supporter of Indian women's liberation movement. Famous politician or political personality like Annie Besant, she went to them, to Blavatsky and Cornel Albert, and became a disciple of that society. Another person, Alan Hume, who was the founder of the Indian National Congress, the historians like Durganath Ghosh mentioned about it, that Alan Hume and Madhav Annie Besant, they got inspiration of forming the Indian National Congress, the first political organization of the Indian people for the liberation of the country, was the inspiration of Madame Blavatsky. And when Madame Blavatsky left Kolkata, she went to Madras, and there also she was received with a huge gathering, including a representative of the Tipu Sultan family, who needs no introduction to us. Tipu Sultan was a great leader of the Indian people, of the Indian Sepoy Mutiny. And Madame Blavatsky really, during her stay in India for long these years, she created big sensation and inspiration to the Indian people for their own rights, for their own understanding, for their own culture, while the colonial rulers didn't like that inspiration and they were almost forcing her to leave the country. She left the country, went back to England, and died at the age of 60. But she is remembered by the people of India, by the people of Kolkata, as a great supporter of the Indian people. Till now, at Calcutta, at Bankim Chatterjee Street, there is an organization called Theosophical Society of India, which has their own office and which is very much active till this date. We believe that we will be having more interest on Madame Blavatsky in the near future, and the people will study more about her participation in the life of Indian stream with the Indian population. Thank you very much. See you again. Das Vedanya Punardarshanaya.